Welcome to the tutorial for generating an OSGi remote service with gRPC using ECF Remote Services and bndtools. To begin, we'll launch a new workspace in Eclipse. This Eclipse already has bndtools installed, and if you need to install bndtools, please go to bndtools.org. To begin, we're first going to set up Eclipse with bndtools to use the ECF Remote Service Workspace template. To do so, we go to this preference screen, choose ECF capital bndtools.workspace, and we're going to use the default branch of gRPC, which has the template for creating gRPC based remote services. Once this is done, we'll then go to File, New, Other, bndtools, bnd OSGi Workspace. And when we create a new bndtools workspace in the Eclipse, the current Eclipse workspace, it gives us this option of selecting a workspace template that's provided by the ECF bndtools workspace project. Now, the first thing to do for creating our remote service is to create an API for that remote service. And that can be done by going to File, New, BND OSGi project. Now that we've loaded the ECF Remote Services workspace template, we'll see the availability of a project template that is the template for the gRPC HealthCheck API project. So we'll select that template, choose Next, give it a project name, and in this case we'll call it HealthCheck.api for the project name. We'll use the execution environment of Java 1.8 and finish. Now you see it's created this HealthCheck API project, and it's in the middle of generating the source code for the API that's defined by this health.proto file. Now this health.proto file is one of the examples provided by the gRPC project of a simple remote service that does a health check on a remote server. And here's the definition of the service in the proto file. There are 4 methods defined: check, watch server, watch client, and watch bidirectional. And this is to test the 4 types of gRPC methods. That's a unary method, a server streaming method, a client streaming method, and a bidirectional streaming method. When this project was created, the proto file was automatically compiled by the project template and generated these Java classes. So for example, this HealthCheck service is an interface that has declarations of the 4 methods shown in the proto file for the service, the HealthCheck service. And so, for example, if we delete one of these definitions, save the proto file, and wait a moment, go back to the HealthCheck service. There are only 3 methods declared, and that's because the code for this HealthCheck service interface was generated immediately upon saving this proto file. So if I undo this change to the proto file and go back to our HealthCheck service, you see the 4th method popped into place, and that's because it was generated automatically by this Workspace template, or sorry, this project template. In fact, here's the BND file source code that declares the generate command that runs the proto-C compiler on the files in the protofiles directory and produces the Java source output to the source gen directory, and that's where these classes are. To summarize, given this health.proto protocol buffers definition of this HealthCheck service, and using the ECF project template, we've generated this Java Service API, which is now ready to be implemented and or consumers created of this as an OSGi remote service. And in the next video, I'll describe how to create an implementation of this HealthCheck API using ECF's bndtools project templates.